Hello guys, it's Chocolate King back here once again, and I just thought this video. The problem, or the real problem with the One Punch Man redraws, and on a basic level, I'll say none of the redraws have been bad, and it's been awful. It's just a question of why, or why hint so heavily towards something like the whole God situation I was talking about in the video. I don't think we need to have a roach in there, but hinting so towards so much of God. Just like, oh, it was Super S or Super Sadist. We're just like, oh, this is monster blood. Maybe he's the shift shaping type. On which, in the webcomic, was to be this whole big reveal of Amaya's mask. There's already been hints towards it, especially in the webcomic. Like, it would have been a lot better. Like, how did Amaya's mask get put back together? Now it's just, oh, he's a monster now. He's a monster. For no reason, alright then. Cause like, for the webcomic who's been on my channel, it's already been known that Amaya's mask was a monster in the webcomic, but not in the manga. So it's like a fun to say, oh, maybe he is, maybe he's not. Sure, I made the whole video about it, but for people who don't read the webcomic, and it's just, now he's just a monster now, and it's just, I think he was just spoiled too early for no reason. Because not an entire arc afterwards not gonna mean nothing much. But that's not the real problem. There's just some minor nitpicks and like why this and that. But the real problem with the whole One Punch Man redraws is it's fair that no one's gonna know what, like, unless you read the manga volumes. If you're just a person like going to a website, something like that, and not reading it and buying it from Viz Media, and you just try to read it some other type of way, it'll be very confusing on what is the actual continuity where you have 5-6 different chapter 103s or 20 109s. How do you redraw a redraw? Did the whole Amaya Mask chapter was already redrawn where he doesn't kill Nariki's private group? Now it's redrawn again. And like, just going by it, just on any site you want to go to the Reddit and read it from that site they have. It is so confusing to find out what is the real chapter when you have 5,000 different versions of the same chapter. And then what if somebody last chapter was like chapter 99 or like 110, or somebody who don't know about the redraws and just keep up with a brand new chapter, and now they're arguing back and forth for different types of continuity. Oh, it was redrawn, or it was retconned, this and that. It's just like, what is the point of all the redraws? And then it's just like, Murata doesn't seem like he have a problem with drawing it, so at least he's having some fun with it. But and geez, like, now bringing Super S back, and she's alive, which I don't even hate the character. Now it's just, how many redraw chapters are we going to have her get killed? How many? And then just the ending with King for it'd be the final chapter and a manga volume is a good and a bad thing. Cause it's a big major hint towards King and what he could do in the next chapter. But the same merit is just like, as soon as the action start to kick up, as soon as things start getting good, we gotta miss out on like what, at least 3/4 of a month for a bunch of redraws. It's gonna be even more since we're gonna explain what happened to Super S. There's gonna be an entire fight by itself unless you just get one-shotted. So great. And then with Orochi, alright guys, I'm not as brainwashed and brain dead as you thought I was. Alright guys, alright, I dig that because I didn't think I was getting strong enough by psychos and their sacrifices. I wasn't getting strong enough, so I'm gonna dig down, find the subterranean's secret spot. I guess it's more secret than a place that in Midland and Berserk. It's more secretive than that. And hey, look, I was always meant to be like this, in which it's never explained who made that mirror at all. And more like the subterranean, or what did the subterraneans base that mirror on? That Orochi was going to eventually lead to something with God. On which it could either just be a template where, alright, we got all these smaller monsters like Sea King and all that, but really the main one controlling things behind the scenes is the character God. And it doesn't mean by default that it will give him powers or Orochi would be sacrificed to his God. That doesn't mean that directly. But really, it just get very confused with the continuity, because like, unless you're reading the manga volume, it's a bunch of going back and forth, and then like not everybody keep up with the redraw, so it'll create a scenario where people just gonna get more and more confused with the redraws going on. Cause I doubt the redraws are gonna stop. I really do, and I doubt everything up to like 145 is just gonna stay the same. So that means by the time the next manga value comes around, it's gonna be some more redraws. I don't understand why was there a redraw for 109 in the first place. That means it's gonna be even more redraws. This is ridiculous. Like how many? Well, this is madness on the continuity and everything. And then some people be like, oh, it'll fix all the anime. Some people will be watching the anime and questioning where half of this stuff's coming from, because they're unaware of the redraws. Not everybody keep up with the redraws. So it's just, we'll all be dead. And then it's hard enough with multiple different chapters and the chapter numbers being all over the place. One moment it's at 83, next moment is 145. Like, what is the correct chapter number? What are the two different type of chapter numbers? Why? So you got that on top of redraws and everything else. Like, it's not already hard enough to read as it is. Now I gotta throw in some redraws and rechapters and things like that. And it's one of those things where at this point I'm not mad at it because I've already been aware of the redraws and the wait in between. But it's to the point, like, when you look towards like the future, or anybody looking back, unless you're reading the manga volumes, it's gonna be pretty hard to figure out which one is canon and which one is not. Well, these are like, actually I can't recall. I think most Punchman didn't publish in a magazine. On top of that, if it is being published in a magazine, it's being redrawn for the volumes, then that makes it even worse. Because now people who have read the magazine are buying the volumes and reading a totally different event. So there's even more problems. And it's really the thing that I hope one day it will get fixed. Because like I start reading One Punch Man when I start making videos. I've already been a fan of One Punch Man ever since. So I bought season 1 randomly. And it's just like a few months later, I was just like, I got nothing else to do. Let's watch One Punch Man. Call up my friends. Now I understand. Now I understand why people was excited for it. Which I'd rather experience something that way than get caught up in the hype. And the hype train is going to be something I cover sometime later. But overall, it's going to get very confusing towards people to keep up with a consistent continuity when the redraws are right around the corner. I was not expecting Murata to go all the way back to 109 for a redraw. That's concerning. That's ridiculous. Orochi is one thing, alright. But all the way back to 109, just to bring Super S back to life, was it worth it? Now they're running to Fubuki and begging bomb. Is this? Alright, that's another redraw. Unless you can get killed in one singular chapter, that's another redraw. And is it? I'm telling you, the continuity thing is going to become a serious problem. Because if you're not keeping up with a YouTuber or somebody like that who update people on the redraws and things like that, you're going to be pretty confused when continuity completely shifts. And that one Saitama fight, it's not the Saitama fight that actually happens. Quite confused. Quite confused indeed. Quite confused indeed. Because eventually, I'm gonna say it now, before it even happened. The anime only watchers won't be affected by this, but eventually it's gonna get to the point one day there's gonna be some serious backlash over a redraw that just happens out of nowhere. Out of nowhere. And I don't know how people are gonna be affected by it, because it's gonna be one of those redraws that's gonna be that massive. Some might say, oh, you're just wishing bad or something. No, I'm not. But arguably, let's be honest, eventually something like that is going to happen. One of these redraws is going to cause some massive backlash eventually. It's going to be vicious. Now, it's not going to be to the point where somebody get death threats or anything like that that toxic My Hero fan base. But it's going to be like some type of considered blowback of why did this even need to happen? Like, there is no point for this to actually be happening. Because like, it's going to be pretty hard for someone to catch up with One Punch Man where you got 5,000 different versions of the same chapter and you reread half of the same chapter and get some new stuff on top of it. So what actually happened? That's my only concern with the whole redraws, is the continuity. It really is, because it's like, it's a shame that the Murata arc got to go to waste and the entire chapter is being redrawn. And it's just, maybe they release a redraw collection and One Punch Man guidebook, and what's actually canon and what's not. Who knows? Great marketing opportunity though. Somebody would buy it. Somebody would. But overall, that's been me Shuffle King. This could be a bunch of ramblings from this point on, but the whole thing, and it's just, It's not the fact that the redraws are bad. Besides from the fact that that Super S1 hints towards more redraws, and on top of that, I don't like the way they spoiled the whole Amaya Mask thing. It'll potentially be a mantra. I would have preferred it to be hinting at, because now it removes all doubt. Because you already had like a slight healing factor with the whole eye thing for Super S. Because now it's gonna be like, alright then, of course Amaya's Mask is gonna get split in half. Of course, it's just that easy. Instead of it being some type of surprise, he just show up later in the fight. Just. Is it even worth it, Johnny? Is it? Because there's just like, this looks like the webcomic uploads sporadically, so who knows what's going to happen with that. And it's just like, one is working on that, the manga. Mob Psycho, which is still ongoing. And I believe it's like something else, like, there's so many different things, and it's just like, madness. Like eventually just, we're gonna have to do something and just get this straightened out, because it's not like Murata's fault, or it is. But maybe it's at a pitch meeting, you know, one calls up Murata, just like, all right, we gotta change some things, and we got to fix this and that and this and that, and just you got to redraw some stuff. Because it's like, at what point does the redraws just stop periodly and you just continue on with the story? Why must redraws be an overlooming thing on the One Punch Man story? Because it was only a matter of time, Bobby. Because it seems like the redraws could be a recent thing, or could be wrong about that. Because I don't really see too many of the earlier chapters having redraws like this. At all. So it's just, maybe it's the editors or something. Maybe it's somebody, or maybe just doing it exclusive for the current manga volumes, where maybe at the time one came up with it, it was just, his mind was in the right place, and now it's like, alright, this is how I really want it to turn out. I didn't like the way it was originally. If it's something like that, then alright then, but it'd be best to get some mental health care first. So I don't think it's that. So it is what it is. I just wish for the best of the series, and even if it gets to the point where I don't like something, I just hope everybody else should be able to like it, because I'm not gonna get into that. That can be a very depressing road if you get down to that. But if you start getting you got thoughts and opinions. What are your thoughts and opinions about the redraws and how it could create a potential problem in the future with trying to read the manga and things like that? And do you believe that one day you're gonna be a redraw that just upsets everybody, and people just be mad about it into the future, or just believe everything just goes smoothly? I hope that it does go smoothly, but I don't know, man. But be sure to like the video, like, comment, subscribe. I don't know you guys' opinions on the redraws. And also check out the webcomic. No, make it to the end of the video anyway, but check out the webcomic. And be Shockwave King, and wait for it, wait for it, wait for it, wait for it, wait for it. Wait for it, Johnny. Wait for it. And, peace.